place to.
Yeah, so we didn't do it.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everybody this evening to the NRC's public meeting on the status of the chilled work environment at the Watts-Bar Nuclear Plant. This is a Category 1 meeting. What that means is there'll be a discussion between the NRC and TVA. We ask you to hold any questions you may have until we've completed the meeting. Once we do that, we'll take a 5-minute break, and at that point in time, then we'll open it back up for the public to ask questions of the NRC. I would like to note that during the meeting, if there is an emergency, we do have an exit door here that will take you out to the parking lot. And also, if you go through the back door, I believe there's exits past the pool to take you out into the back parking lot as well. And the restrooms are down the hall and to the left. You'll see the sign there as well. So with that, I would like to go through introductions from the NRC side as well as TVA, and then we'll open it up for any other dignitaries that would like to be known. So with that, Kathy?
Good evening, I'm Kathy Haney. I'm the Regional Administrator in the Nuclear Regulatory Commission office that's based in Atlanta. We have oversight responsibility for the TVA facilities.
My name is Lisa Marie Jarrell. I am the Agency Allegation Advisor. I work out of headquarters for the NRC and the Office of Enforcement.
Good evening, this is Alan Blamey. I'm in Region 2. I'm the Chief of Project Branch 6 and Division of Reactor Project, which has oversight for TVA.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Hammond. I'm the Resident Inspector for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission at Watts-Bar.
I'm Mike Balduzzi. I'm the Senior Vice President of Nuclear Operations for TVA.
I'm Paul Simmons. I'm the Site Vice President for Watts-Bar.
I'm Sean Connors, I'm the plant manager for Watts-Bar.
DJ Allen, one of the on-shift shift managers at Watts-Bar.
Thank you. I'll go to the audience if there's any members of the public or other dignitaries that would like to be recognized. Okay, hearing none. At this point in time, we'll move into the agenda for tonight's meeting. And this evening, we'll have a brief introduction, and then we'll move into history and the NRC actions that we've taken, and we will turn it over to TVA. And at that point, they'll go through a presentation that they have with where they are and the actions that they've taken to address the chilled work environment. And then at that point in time, we'll do closing comments. And then we will open it up for public questions after that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ken.
Thanks, Alan. So in March of this year, NRC determined that there was significant evidence to support the existence of a chilled work environment in the Operations Department at Watts-Bar. And to date, NRC has not identified any serious safety violations or instances involving significant plant issues. Based on our continuing oversight and awareness of operational issues, the resident inspectors have noted an improvement in conduct of operations since that March timeframe. The NRC does have confidence that TVA will continue to operate Units 1 and 2 safely while making efforts towards improving the work environment, which is in their efforts we're here to talk about today and hear from them. The NRC can and will take actions to ensure that TVA maintains a healthy, safety-conscious work environment as we move forward. Issuance of the chilled work environment letter and the safety-conscious work environment cross-cutting themes were the first steps to ensure that TVA management maintains a clear focus on maintaining a healthy, safety-conscious work environment. The objectives of today's meeting include having an information exchange with TVA in a public forum in close proximity to the site to help facilitate increased public awareness and involvement in the regulatory activities involving TVA. As Alan said, we'll be providing a brief historical account of the actions taken that led up to where we are today. We'll be also providing an overview, a more detailed overview of the actions that NRC has taken in response to the information we learned earlier this year, and also we'll describe our actions going forward. As we go through today's meeting, you'll hear us refer to safety-conscious work environment and chilled environment letters, several terms that we tend to use, and I just thought it would be worthwhile to take a few minutes and have Lisa Marie to go through and just describe what we mean by those terms, with the hope of helping clarify any discussions that we have with TVA as we go further. So Lisa Marie.
Sure, thank you. Just briefly, the NRC has two policy statements, a safety culture policy statement and a safety conscious work environment policy statement that outlines our expectations for our licensees to establish and maintain both a strong safety culture and SQUE, safety conscious work environment. A safety culture is defined most simply by a culture where the licensee puts safety first above any competing objectives such as schedule or cost. That's in general what a strong safety culture means, putting safety first. That's the simplest way to think of it. One trait of a strong safety culture is this idea called the safety conscious work environment. A more plain language way of talking about the SQUE is an environment for raising concerns. In order to put safety first, workers in the facility have to be free to raise concerns, and management has to effectively address those concerns. So those are what those two terms mean that you're going to hear as we discuss today.
Thank you. If we move to slide 4 for the history. Last year in the December timeframe, we began inspecting an operational event that occurred in the November timeframe. And as we began to inspect that, we also noted several other operational issues that were very minor in nature, very low safety significance. So as we began to observe those through the inspection program, we had taken the resident inspectors and we increased the amount of oversight that they had in the control room. During this period, we also had construction inspectors on site as well as inspectors that were getting ready to support the startup testing on Unit 2. So through that process, because of the operational issues that we were seeing, we had additional inspectors that were very closely monitoring the control room operations. In addition to that, we had additional management looking at the issues that were also ongoing and also working with the inspectors to understand the issues. And we also initiated routine discussions with the management team between the NRC as well as TVA. Early in January of this year, we identified and received information as well that started to lead us to look at the work environment in the operations area. And because of the information, we continued the additional oversight using the inspectors, and we also had several management meetings over the course of the quarter, the first quarter of the year, to discuss the issues that were being identified by the resident inspector. Specifically, on March 22nd, we had a meeting with TVA management. The TVA management came in and they provided a discussion on the actions that they were taking in the area of the safety conscious work environment and operations. And on March 23rd, we issued the chilled work environment letter to TVA discussing the environment in the operations area. Specifically, we believe there was an environment existed where the WSPAR employees in the operations area did not feel free to raise safety concerns to management because they feared retaliation and did not feel their concerns were being appropriately addressed. To date, the NRC has not identified any serious safety violations or instances involving significant plant safety issues. And based on our continuing oversight and awareness of the operational issues, the resident inspectors have noted improvement in the conduct of operations and the operations work environment. As part of our ongoing assessment process, in July of this year, we opened a cross-cutting theme in safety conscious work environment. And based upon that, through our process, that will require continued management oversight as we assess WSPAR. We have, as I noted before, I believe this is the third public meeting that we have conducted on this issue, and we continue to have additional oversight in the control room with the resident inspectors. Slide 5, please. The increased inspector emphasis on safety culture. We have a total of 3 resident inspectors at WSPAR, And these inspectors live in the community. They're stationed at Watts Bar, so they work at Watts Bar every day, and they do have oversight responsibilities for Watts Bar. The increased management awareness that we have, typically weekly we will meet with the management team. Specifically, we will have a phone call with the resident inspectors, and they will brief the regional management on the status of the issues that are ongoing at Watts Bar, specifically in the area of the safety-conscious work environment. And once again, the regional management typically they'll have regular communications with the licensing management to discuss the status and effectiveness of the actions to improve the safety-conscious work environment. Most recently in September, we did complete a one-week inspection at Watts Bar, and that was focused in the safety-conscious work environment area. Through that inspection, we interviewed 136 employees in 17 focus groups, as well as 22 individual interviews. Based upon that, the determination was that the operations staff indicated an improvement in the primary work environment conditions, and that prompted the issuance of the chilling effect letter. However, the focus groups within and outside the operations department indicated the existence of a broader, previously unrecognized issues that led to challenges to the maintenance of a positive safety culture, which contributes to challenges to the safety-conscious work environment. The team also identified substantive weakness in various attributes of the safety-conscious work environment, which were found to be pervasive across various work units. Most prominent was that although most employees in the assessment indicated that they were personally willing to raise nuclear safety concerns, nearly half believed that retaliation was a potential outcome for raising the concerns. And most employees did not believe that the concerns were promptly reviewed and addressed in the corrective action program. Therefore, based upon this information, we concluded that TVA is not meeting the Commission's expectation that licensees establish and maintain a positive safety culture and safety-conscious work environment is described in the safety culture and safety-conscious work policy statement. However, I would like to note once again that based upon our inspections, the inspectors did not identify any findings or violations of greater than minor safety significance. This week, we have an inspection team on site, which is finishing up the second week of the problem identification and resolution inspection, and specifically they're focusing on the chilling effect letter response and the root cause analysis. Based upon the current inspections and the continuing response of TVA to improve the work environment, the NRC will continue to inspect TVA's progress through a similar inspection that we plan to do next year, which will take a look at the safety-conscious work environment, as well as the problem identification and resolution program. Discretely focused samples that will look at specific aspects of the safety-conscious work environment and the corrective actions to improve that environment. And in addition to those, we will continue to have the resident inspectors maintain the vigilance of their observations in the control room as well as throughout the plant, and we will maintain the continued management focus that the NRC has to ensure that we have a clear understanding of the progress that Watts Bar is making in the safety-conscious work environment area.